All right, I'm going to talk about 9 fragrances here that are really great in the winter. Out with just regular old Spicebomb, just the original. I like the whole line. I've got the whole line. I like all of them. But I'm just going to talk about the original Spicebomb here. And I like it just as much as any of them. This one's great. There's a reason this started off the line. It's spicy, sweet, Oriental style fragrance, woody, gourmand, pink pepper, some brightness off the top with the bergamot, grapefruit. And then you just get the holiday season spices: cinnamon, tobacco, leather, vetiver, like a chili pepper note, and then there's a little bit of saffron to kind of spice it up. So yeah, perfect for winter and the holidays. Still love this one, even though I really like the flankers too. This one still works great, and this is a newer formulation, and the performance is pretty good on this. I'd heard newer formulations weren't that good, but my bottle here has got pretty decent performance. Started with the first one in the line on that last one. Here's the last one in the line, the latest one. This is that Spicebomb Dark Leather. I like this one. A lot of people are saying they're not getting good performance on this. Performance on mine is decent, about like the original that I got now. 4 to 5 hours, pretty decent. If you spray heavy, you'll get it. I can smell it pretty good for 4 to 5 hours, and I get a lot of a nice leather note. A lot of people are complaining they didn't smell much of a leather note. Well, I'm picking up a lot of leather, and it's really nice, I think. Spicy, leathery, sweet, really sweet. I really like the sweetness in this. Woody and fresh. A nutmeg and black pepper. And then you get some cinnamon and frankincense. And then some tobacco and black leather. Really nice fragrance. I think it's a great flanker, and one of my favorites. Of course, they're all one of my favorites. I pretty much like every flanker here, but I think this one's awesome. Next up is Valentino Uomo Eau de Parfum Intense. Man, is this good. I forgot how good this was. I just sprayed it again for testing. I haven't worn this in a little while, but this is a banger, man. I love this one. I forgot how I need to wear this more often. It's kind of like in that Dior Homme Intense range, but a little bit less of the powdery makeup style iris in this. A little more sweet. The mandarin orange in this kind of like spices it up too, and the leather note of this is real nice. Just super well balanced. If you like Dior Homme Intense, you're gonna like this too. This is maybe even a little bit easier to wear than that, and I think that one's pretty easy to wear. Like I said, this is powdery, sweet leather, some nice spices. It's creamy. You get that nutmeg and the orange off the top to kind of brighten it up, and the sage and juniper berry in the mids, and then at the bottom is just a nice, well blended, creamy iris, vanilla, leather, patchouli, and tonka bean. Just super elegant fragrance. Warm, dark, powdery, leathery, spicy. Iris perfectly blended with tonka bean, and a base soft leather and some vanilla. Just like I said, super elegant. I seen it in the reviews. Somebody had wrote this is a perfect fragrance to wear to the office to be professional, but also able to flirt with the women. That's kind of what I see on this one. This one's a well-crafted fragrance here. This is a really nice one. All right, just like Spicebomb, I like everything in the 1 million line too. So I'm going to talk about 1 Million Absolutely Gold here. Love this one. Just refined and intense version of the original. A little stronger than the original. It's like a sweet citrus floral combination. So when I first got into fragrances, when I smelled this, I wasn't into like I couldn't stand like the femininity of some florals or rose or anything like that. So I wasn't into this one as much, but man, I love this one now. It's sweet, spicy, sort of in that oriental category, woody, gourmand. A little bit of peppermint and mandarin orange at the top, cinnamon, some rose, iris and oud at the base. Just a well-crafted, well-blended fragrance. Is about unisex. I would say, yeah, this is pretty unisex down the middle to me. I think a woman could actually pull this one off. So I wasn't into fragrances like that too much in the beginning, but love this one now. And I get really good performance on this one too. I got another one out of the Dunhill Signature collection. That was their like higher end collection that I think when it started out it was like over $100, and I don't think they took off too well because now you can get them for about $50. So I've tried about everything out of that line. I have tried everything out of that line, at least a sample of, and I own a few of them. This is my favorite, and several people online agreed with me. Agar Wood, they thought the same thing. This just this smells like a $100 fragrance. It's leathery, oriental, woody, spicy, woody. Got this pink pepper, ginger, bergamot, and there's like a saltiness at the top. Really nice iris note in this. It's like a black iris note, saffron, blue cypress, and there's a nice violet leaf to kind of round it out. Then when it dries down, you get it all throughout. You get a nice suede note, musk, tobacco, that mastic, absolute, and oud. Really nice. It's kind of like an ombre leather with a little more iris in it, if you like that fragrance. And the quality is super outstanding on this, as I said in the beginning. It just really expensive smelling. Performance is good on this. This is a real good value here for around $50. This is easily worth $100. All right, I got this 10 milliliter of the real YSL Babycat. I had a Refocket from Paris Quarter, and it actually is pretty close to this. But like the vanilla notes and some of the incense notes were kind of amped up when I did a side-by-side, and I didn't really enjoy wearing that fragrance. I'm real picky on vanilla fragrances anymore, and this isn't something I'd even wear that often. Just don't really want to smell like Babycat, even though it's a super nice fragrance. I don't really think it's something I want to go around smelling like a lot, but for the few times I do wear it, I do like the original a lot better. It definitely smells at least 15 to 20% better than the other one. The notes are amped up a little in those 1-2 categories. The other one, it smells a little more synthetic. This is just a smoother, even though it's not necessarily a smooth fragrance, but the quality of ingredients and everything is just smoother. When you smell them side by side, there's a synthetic difference. So it's like a just real nice bourbon vanilla with a blast of like suede and spices. Then it kind of dries down to like a warm, spicy, ambery vanilla. Tons of vanilla throughout. Sweet, smoky, spicy, resinous, a little leathery. You get a lot of LMI resins in it. Lots of black pepper and pink pepper, frankincense, some resins, saffron, vanilla, suede, and there's some cedar wood. So yeah, it's pretty unisex, right down the middle to me. Maybe it leads slightly feminine if anything, but pretty unisex to me. And yeah, real nice fragrance. I got a lot of respect for it as far as the art of perfumery that went into this. But honestly, it's not something I really want to smell like a lot. I may try another clone of it, but I really didn't enjoy wearing that one. And but I do like wearing this one, the original. So I don't know if I'll just work on this 10 milliliter and see if I run out, or get a clone, or maybe just buy a whole bottle of this if I do run through this. But I doubt I'll even ever run through this. So yeah, great fragrance. All right, next up is Chopard Cedar Malaki. I haven't smelled any of the Chopards or anything from the Malaki line, but I'm impressed with this one. I just got this one in. It's just smooth, fresh, woody scent. Nice freshness to this one too. It's a light, fresh citrus accord in the opening, and the mid has some aromatics in it to kind of keep it fresh, and a lot of nice spices mixed in it. And there's a little bit of sweetness that kind of keeps it fresh and airy. So it's a nice, fresh and airy, aromatic kind of scent. It'd be great in the fall too. Fall, winter. You could actually probably wear this in the spring, but I'm going to wear it in the winter, I guess. Woody, sweet, leathery. A lot of leather, resinous and spicy. You got sage, some grapefruit, cardamom, lavender, and cypress in the opening. Then you start getting the cedar notes, tons of cedar notes. There's a nice cypress note in it. And then as it dries all the way down, you get the labdanum, tonka bean, and the cypriol. Great fragrance. Smells way more expensive than it is. This smells like easily a $100 fragrance, and this is around $50. So I wouldn't mind trying some other in this Chopard Malaki line. Some of the other ones look like they might be interesting too, but this one's great. All right, most people skip right past Tom Ford Noir and talk about Tom Ford Noir Extreme, including me. I hadn't paid much attention to the original Noir. And then my buddy Rick, shout out Rick, he got me this 10 milliliter of the original here. Man, I love this one. I probably like this one more than the Extreme. It's a spicy, oriental, woody, powdery, sweet type fragrance. It's definitely a spicy, oriental fragrance. It's sort of got a fougere tone to it to me, an old school one. This is probably more for a older gentleman too. It's sort of got like a fougere style to me. A lot of violet, pink pepper, some bergamot brightness in the opening. Then it's got the iris and some rose, and then some geranium, clary sage, a little bit of nutmeg. Then as it dries down, it's got patchouli, onyx, leather, civet, some amber notes, styrax, vanilla, a lot of notes going on here, and it smells like it. It's a well-composed fragrance, and I got this down as like masterpiece perfumery. When I run through this decan, if I ever run through it, I got so many bottles, this is definitely full bottle worthy for me. Love it. This is a great fragrance, and yeah, I'm not sure why this one doesn't get any kind of love. Everybody just jumps to the Extreme, but this one's great. Okay, I found out about this one because I was sampling Paplafinko from Nishane, and I really like that. And all the reviews were saying that this Mancera Silver Blue was close to it. And so I got this, and it is pretty close. There are differences, but it's in that same kind of category of fragrance. It's spicy, fresh, woody, oriental, resinous. I don't know why they call it silver and blue and have it colored blue. It's not really a blue fragrance. There's an absence note in it. I can't hardly pick that up, though. I have to really search, and I still can't really find it. There's bergamot, cardamom, labdanum and patchouli, caramel and cinnamon in the mids. And as it dries down, you get the oak moss, amber, woods, and musk. So really nice, a nice ambery cardamom scent. Like I said, similar to Paplafinko, but the patchouli makes it a little bit darker. Patchouli, amber, balsamic notes with a touch of caramel. really nice fragrance. You could probably wear this in the fall too, would be great. Maybe even the spring, but I like wearing this in the winter. I think that's when I'm going to wear it. Great fragrance. Throw in some bonus samples. So samples, I can't say it enough. They're just a great way to get into fragrances. If you got a bunch of fragrances, you don't need whole bottles of this stuff. Maybe eventually you get a whole bottle, but maybe you get some decants and just try them. And if you're into clones too, like why not get a little 2 milliliter decant or something? Just try originals or some one of your favorite scent DNAs. Just see what the real thing smells like. I can't talk about that enough. But one of them that I got this is a god tier fragrance for me. This is a Vince scent. I may end up getting the full bottle eventually, but I got 3 5 milliliters of this right now. They had a Black Friday deal on the 5 milliliters, and it was still cheaper than trying to buy a 10 milliliter or 20 milliliter somewhere. This was the cheapest way to go. So I got 15 milliliters of this, but it's Jay Adoob by Mind Games. Man, I love this. This is floral, fruity, leathery, sweet, spicy. You're mainly going to get some fruits, rose, and then some leather and a dry down. There's some patchouli and benzoins that kind of darken it up a little bit. There's pomegranate and red currant, and orange is the fruits. Yeah, the rose is just so nice in this. This is one of my favorite rose fragrances. And we're really going into this year, I wasn't into rose fragrances, but I'm really into rose fragrances now. And man, this is one of the best. I love this one. I just don't like the price tag on these Mind Games, but this is one I may end up getting a bottle of eventually because I just love this one. Outstanding perfumery. All right, really been enjoying a lot of Frederic Malle fragrances, but this is one that I really like. I only got this little 2 milliliter decant of it. It's Musc Ravageur. Love this. I got a couple clones of it. The generic oil is actually pretty close to this one. I'm probably going to have to get the real thing eventually on this one though. But for right now, the generic and the I think it's a Fragrance World. The other one I got will hold me over a little while. But this is a beginner type fragrance either. This is like musky, animalic, and then it has these like Christmas notes in it. A little bit of like clove and cinnamon notes, vanilla in the background. This thing, it's another one when you smell right down on it. It's kind of, I like the way it smells, but it's kind of different. It took a while to warm up to it. But out in the air, the way this thing plays, I've gotten a bunch of compliments wearing this. It's spicy, sweet. Like I said, it's animalistic. It's an Oriental type fragrance, woody. There's some cinnamon, orange, bergamot, and lavender at the top. Then there's a lot of musk in this fragrance, a vanilla and amber, and then there's some patchouli and woods at the base or whatever, but you're getting a ton of musk throughout this. It's just a sexy fragrance, man. This is great for date nights and intimate situations. I've gotten several compliments from women wearing this one. It's got a sex appeal to it. All right, I have a couple clones of this one, and they're nice, but there's nothing like the real thing on this one. MFK Oud Satin Mood. I thought it'd be too boring of a fragrance for me and maybe too much rose in it, but it's not too boring and it's not too much rose. The quality on this thing is just so good. It's just a simple like rose oud fragrance, but it's mostly oud with some fruits, a little bit of benzoins and amber to it. It's a very light oud, like a designer type oud or whatever. It's nothing like the Middle Eastern type ouds I've been wearing, rose oud fragrances, but this is really nice. The real deal on this is just super smooth and easy wear, and this is another one just out in the air. It's really inviting and seductive. It's just a great fragrance. Outstanding. I'm probably going to end up with the real deal on this one too. Just love it. All right, here's another one. I did the same thing. They had a deal, and I got 3 5 milliliters. It was still a better deal, so I got 15 milliliters. And this stuff is so strong that this here is probably equal to another bottle in in a regular fragrance. Because the performance on this is nuclear. So it's Royal Tobacco from Amouage. I had to do a version. I didn't like it. I got rid of that. I wasn't going to go back to this, but I seen another reviewer talk about this one and what the wearing experience was like. So I said, all right, let me try I just got a 2 milliliter at first, and I didn't even like it the first time. It reminded me of the Dew. I thought, okay, the Dew was spot on. It's not good. But I continued on, and I wore it, and then I wore it another time after that, and it just kind of, it brought me in, because this thing, the transitions and what it does out in the air, like this isn't one that's really good when you smell right down on it, but you just let it do its thing. You shouldn't be smelling it like that anyways, in the air. It's just a beautiful scent profile. I got tons of compliments on this. Super realistic tobacco note. It's like a royal tobacco. It's like a tobacco that royals would smoke. There's these amber notes. It's sweet. It gets balsamic. There's some aromatic notes in this. There's a ton of notes in this when you look up the notes. I'll put them up here somewhere. But there's a little bit of vanilla and woods. Warm and fresh spices in it. A lot going on. It's kind of got like a Christmassy smell to it, so it's kind of like got tobacco with that frankincense and everything. It's got sort of a Christmas vibe to it. I love it. This is great around the holidays. Very mature, masculine. Again, this is probably not a younger scent profile, but I could see a young guy appreciating the perfumery that went on here. So this is this is outstanding perfumery here, and I can't believe how good this thing is, but it was a little challenging at first, I will admit, and I think that's how Amouage fragrances are, but this is definitely masterpiece perfumery. All right, this is a straight up banger, and another Vince scent, and another God tier fragrance. Portrait Lady from Frederic Malle. I've been liking that whole house. This one's one of my favorites from the house. I've got a generic oil of it. It's pretty close to, and I think I got a Fragrance World version's pretty close, but there's something about this original just kind of sets it apart. I got to get a bottle of this at some point. It's smoky, spicy, fruity, a lot of musk, different angles on the rose kind of coming and going. It's sort of dark and moody and mature overall with like sort of like a potpourri type incense type notes going. It initially starts out like a spicy, fruity, and then it starts getting like a smoky, spicy, earthy, and floral, and settles into like a dusty, a resinous, like woody base. Pretty unisex down the middle to me. Like I said, it's floral, spicy, woody, oriental type fragrance, smoky. You get the rose, blackcurrant, then you get some clove and raspberry, frankincense, patchouli, and sandalwood at the base. Just really nice red rose scent profile, velvety incense, and earthy patchouli. Bold and spicy rose fragrance. Love this thing. Unisex right down the middle. Perfectly crafted masterpiece perfumery going here. Love it. All right, this one here is another certified banger, a Vince scent, a God tier fragrance, Initio Side Effect. Now this is one where the Dua and my generic oil in the Fragrance World version is good enough. They're super close. I don't need to own this one, so I'm never going to buy the real deal on this one. I'm happy with, I got tons of it now because I got those three bottles. So this thing is sweet, spicy, gourmand, woody. You get a lot of rum and vanilla and some saffron, tobacco, cinnamon, and sandalwood. It's pretty unisex down the middle, but yeah, just love this one. Just a boozy, sweet saffron tobacco fragrance. Perfectly unisex to me. I don't know which way this leans, so I'll just put it right down the middle. And love this around the holidays and the winter. And this one's another one just out in the air. It just works magic. Very sexy and seductive. Compliment magnet. This would be great on date nights or intimate situations. Love this one. Next up is another Amouage, Jubilation 25. Love this one. It's complex, addictive. It opens with balsamic blackberries, and then it continues. It's floral, woody, and smoky. I've got Alexandria Fragrances clone of it. It's pretty good, but these Amouage ones I think are just kind of hard to clone because there's just so many notes in them, and they're so complex, and the quality of ingredients in these are just really good. The performance on this isn't great though. That's the only thing I don't like about this for a $200 fragrance. So it's oriental, spicy, woody, fruity, resinous. You just get this black, really nice blackberry note with frankincense and some orange notes and a bunch of aromatics and some rose, some other florals. Then it dries down with like myrrh, ambergris, some oud, patchouli. It gets really dark as it dries down. Love this one. Very complex fragrance. Just super well crafted and masterpiece perfumery again. Okay, this is another one. Really like this one. This is from Nishane. It's Shem. I don't hear anybody ever talking about Shem. It's in that prestige line with Nefs and Mana, and I love Nefs, and I really like Mana too. So I got the generic oil and the Dua version of this, and they're good. Well, the generic is actually off quite a bit. The generic is not good. The Dua is good. It's pretty close, but the generic is one of the few times where generic is pretty far off on that one. Really disappointing on that one. Generic usually don't miss, but they did on this one. But this one is leathery, spicy, floral, woody, earthy. It's a rose fragrance, so there's a Turkish rose, and you get some cardamom and geranium. And there's this amber, cypriol, and osmanthus to kind of darken it up. And there's these leather, elamai, and vetiver. It kind of gives it like a green tinge to it with some of the spices. And yeah, this is an interesting masculine rose fragrance. I love this one. I probably like this one better than Mana. And I'm going to have to get a bottle at some point of this or whatever. Between this 10 milliliter and that Dua, it's going to last me a little while. But just for the art of perfumery and how much I like it, I'm probably going to have to get a bottle of this at some point because I love this fragrance. Well done, Nishane. This prestige line is really good. And I think that Hasavat Oud is in that prestige line too. I'm not quite sure on that one, but I do have the generic oil of that one. It's really good too, so I might have to try the real deal of that one at some point. But yeah, hats off to Nishane and that prestige line. All right, so we're just a couple days away from Christmas when I'm filming this. This is the 23rd of December in 2024. So yeah, me and Inky just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and have a Happy New Year too.